Hi guys, welcome back to Clink, where we aim to own this fabulous life. Now you know in South Africa we've had the coronavirus and it's been terrible for most of our underprivileged society. We know that we live in the most unequal society in the world and we have people who lost their jobs, breadwinners who couldn't provide for their families anymore, and we've been locked down for a good 6 months, which has left a devastating impact in our communities. And one of the ways we tried to make a difference in our small little corners is to see how we can help these communities. And that's why we're here to talk to Bonolo. She had started a charity, which she'll tell us about, to try and alleviate some of these hardships. Bonolo, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first?
So I'm Bonolo Magoka, I'm 19 years old. I'm a first year student at the University of Cape Town and I'm studying a BSc in occupational therapy.
And why the charity? Why your charity is called Reagobona. So give us some background on the charity, its name, how it came about.
So firstly, why? I think I've always felt the need and I felt the responsibility to start an NGO for a long time, even when I was in high school, and I just never got around to doing it. And in the beginning of lockdown, I found myself in a place where I had a lot of time on my hands and not a lot of things to do. And I found it as a unique opportunity that I would probably never have again. So I used that opportunity, and that's what Reagobona was born out of, lockdown actually. And Reagobona stands for We See You in Setswana. And we thought that it would be a good idea, by we I mean me and my brothers, because my brothers do help me with the NGO. We thought that it would be a good idea to have a name that represented the faces behind the organization. And I think for a large part of our lives we've assimilated to Western culture, and this is something that we didn't want to assimilate. We wanted to show our African roots and be proud of our African roots, and I'm Tswana, and so that's why we did that. And we're often told like, your name's too long, you should change it, it won't stick, but we didn't want to change it, and we didn't want a name that would be palatable. Instead we wanted a name that would have substance. And
So what has this charity drive been about, especially around the corona times?
So we've chosen to currently focus on food drives and feeding schemes and clothing drives. So we've done those two things, and we did a food drive not so long ago where we donated food parcels to the less fortunate to feed families, and we've just been using the community around us to raise funds and to give back.
So let's talk about this challenge. So we had this 100-kilometer a month run or walk. So why that challenge?
I think in lockdown a lot of people started getting fit and running and exercising, so it was a good opportunity to use that, and it was something that people were already doing, and I think people really do want to help. They often just don't know how to help, so we try to give them a way to help, and we got so much support, which we were so happy about. That's why we did running.
And you inspired us to get off our bums and run, first of all, keep fit, but also to remember that it is important for us to give. And I think what was important is, as a young person, the influence or the mentorship was upwards. You always expect older people to influence the younger ones, but you did that for us. And we then saw the need to do more and not sit and just watch TV and not do anything about it. So what about you as a person? What inspires you? What is your drive? Now you're a first year student. What are your ambitions? How are you going to make an impact as you grow older?
I think what inspires me is the lack in our country. There's such a large lack, and I think that can either be demotivating or be motivating depending on how you see it. For such a long time I was sitting with guilt and privilege, and I didn't know what to do with those feelings, so I try to I try to use those and do something positive with it, and that's what inspired me to start the NGO and to continue when things do get difficult. I think as I said, there's like a large lack, and sometimes when you do good it can seem like it's so insignificant because it's such a small thing that you're doing. But I think if we all played our insignificant parts, it can become something so significant. I always think about it as when you do a little bit, it feels like there's just a drop in the ocean, and it feels like you haven't made much of a change, but the ocean is made out of lots of drops. So if we all did a little bit, then we could really make change.
Do you find that a lot of your peers feel the same way?
I think what I found mostly with my peers is that they just don't know how to help. And I think sometimes they feel like, I'm too young, I don't have my own money, I don't know what I can do to help. And I think those are, even though like it's relevant and it's true feelings, it's untrue. And no matter how small you are and how insignificant your sphere of influence is, we all have a sphere of influence, whether it's 5 people, just your family members, your Instagram followers, we all have people that we can reach out to help. And
and reaching one is reaching too many, I believe.
Yes.
And what has COVID done for you, or rather its impact on you? Your studies, now it disturbed your life. You were supposed to have this amazing first year in Cape Town, now you're home. Just take us through the impact, your feelings, how you're coping with school.
I think this year has been a roller coaster. Not one feeling describes the year accurately because it's been an array of feelings. I think when we first came home, I was really discouraged and disappointed because it was our first year and it was meant to be amazing, and we'd heard all these things, and we'll never have our first year back. Like, we're going back to Cape Town next year, but it will never be the same. And I think it was difficult because I just made new friends, and now I'm so far from my friends, and it was also a lot of uncertainty, like when are we going to go back? And I didn't think COVID would last this long initially, and I kept waiting for when we get back. Things will happen when we get back, but I realized that you can't wait. Like, now is the time to do things. And I think I've more accepted it now, and I've realized that I'm at home this year. I can do what I can do this year, and I can use it to my advantage as well.
And off-site learning online, has it been manageable for you?
Yeah, it's been difficult because like you can't ask tutors questions as easily, or lecturers, and you have to balance everything yourself. You have to balance like your timetable, you have to remember all the work, there's no one's reminding you to do this and do that. And because we're first year, it's also difficult because you don't even know, like, we don't really know what's going on. You kind of just have to figure everything out for yourself. But I think UCT have been really helpful, and we do have a really good online platform that helps with that.